friend. My name's Angel. Welcome to my channel. Here we talk about all things home, home decor, DIY, and lifestyle. But today, what I really want to talk about is Christmas. This is my favorite time of the year to decorate. So as I began to consider for this area of our home what colors I would use, I used the inspiration photo that's in our dining room. It's a picture of, I think, somewhere in Georgia or in the South, where I'm from, and it has beautiful earth tone colors. The caramels, the browns, the black, that wonderful mossy green color. So in this area, I really wanted to try to create a woodland luxe theme, a little bit of rustic and a little bit of glam and glitter. So I started to curate and look for just a few more ornaments, but one that really grabbed my attention was one that Pottery Barn had this year. Their caviar crusted ornaments. I'll put up a photo here in the cards for you. It was beautiful. It had all that shimmer and glam, but was just the wrong colors for this area. So I thought, I wonder if I could paint and get some glass beads and create a look that was a little bit more affordable, because I knew I would want 8 to 12 ornaments to add to my collection and various areas around in my home. So that's what I did. I found the glass beads on Amazon. Everything I use will be linked in the description box for you if you'd like to recreate this look. And I got my plastic ornaments, got out my paint, and gave it a whirl. So without further ado, let's get started and see if we can duplicate these beautiful ornaments from Pottery Barn. Let's go.
So once I decided to try to duplicate these ornaments with my color selection, which was taken from a picture that was an inspiration for all of my Christmas decor in my main formal living area, it had undertones of terracotta, some browns, greens, and kind of a caramel color. So I chose my initial base coat to be this terracotta color. First, I thought it was a little bit too pumpkin looking, but I was just trusting the process and went ahead and painted each one of the plastic ornaments from Hobby Lobby with one coat. You can do two, but you'll see later on that the one coat was perfect for everything that I was wanting for that initial base coat. So I did this process on all of the ornaments. Altogether, I did 8 ornaments, 4 large and 4 small. I was looking for more of a blended kind of marble effect with all of the inspiration colors that I had chosen. I let those colors dry with the terracotta, and you can see it turned out beautiful. It was kind of a flat, matte, and not nearly as pumpkin-y. So this is when I decided to add in the initial colors. I'll put all of the paint selections in the detail box. I went with a mineral color, a dark truffle brown, and a fawn color that was a little bit on the green side. I took a paper towel and some water, and I just dabbed that paint all over. There's no way to mess this up. You can see I just dropped the ornament in the brown paint, but it was okay. I just dabbed that off, continued that process until I had enough of the colors blended on there that I felt like it was looking the color selection that I wanted, and I just laid them aside. During this process, you can go back, you can add as much of a color as you want, or with that little oops where I dropped it in the brown, you can take a dry paper towel and lift off as much color as you want as well. So I continued this process until all 8 of the ornaments had the color selection that I wanted. And then I decided after they dried, I was going to put a little bit of rub and buff on them just to add a little bit of glimmer. You can see that the colors, once they dried, they looked amazing. So the rub and buff I chose was the gold leaf, and I'm just taking a small paintbrush from Dollar Tree again, and I'm putting it on randomly and just letting that kind of build up, rub on and off. If you get too much, just kind of use your finger or another brush and rub it off. You'll see that I just kind of put it all over in random selection places. There's no rhyme or reason. I just was highlighting different areas of the ornament in hopes that once I added those glass beads, that all the different colors would be reflected in the light. So once those dried, I let them dry overnight because I ran out of time. This is where I went in with the Mod Podge and the glass beads. This was where I was a little skeptical if the paint would rub off, but it did not with the Mod Podge process. I used a mat, and as you can see, used that same type of sponge paintbrush and just brushed all over those, and then sprinkled with a spoon the glass beads on. I found as I went that you want a little bit of a medium to thick coat of the Mod Podge so that those gold beads kind of settle down into that liquid. So as they dry, it gives them something to grip onto. And I just continued that same process of the Mod Podge and sprinkling on the glass beads throughout each one of the ornaments until I had completed all 8 of those. If you miss an area, I had some that I noticed I did not get as good of coverage as I had anticipated, and I just went back in and I Mod Podged those areas and I added the glass beads on as well there. There were a couple of ornaments that I kind of experimented with, and I actually put glass beads on the top of the ornament holders themselves. And it looked really good. It turned out nice. It covered, and it also helped to keep that top kind of secured on the ornament. So that is completely up to you. You can Mod Podge in patterns and add the glass beads, or cover the entire ornament for that same Pottery Barn effect that I was going for, but just with a different color selection. So you can see I'm just sprinkling and tapping those loose beads off into the bowl, and then I set them aside to let them dry. And here you can see when you're done, I added a black organza ribbon. That is completely up to you as well. That was my color soloist, but I was just thrilled with how they turned out. Because I was so happy with the way these turned out, I went ahead and did the same Mod Podge technique to some existing plastic plain red ornaments that I had, and then just added the glass beads right over the top.
Well, friends, that's it for today. I hope this inspired you and got your creative juices going. If you decide to try this, let me know in the comment box and send me a picture of how your ornaments turn out. Until next time, happy DIYing.